Alright guys, welcome to your 20th tutorial. By the way, 20 is my favorite number, and this is probably going to be my favorite video I made in a while, because in this video we're finally going to be finishing up this CSS file. So basically we made three different layouts. One that can hold one column, one that can hold two columns, and one that can hold three columns. So now the only thing we have left to do is make the individual columns. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So footer, whenever we have something with the class column 1, and what I want to do now is I want to style all of the columns. So up here, even though each of these different layouts has a different width, they all have similar properties. So let's go ahead and style all of the similar properties of these columns first. So when we're working with a column that's 1 wide, 2 wide, or a 3 wide column, which is pretty much a big fat column, it doesn't matter. The first thing we want to do is display these columns as inline and also float them to the left. Now, if we display them as a block, then what would happen is, you see how these columns appear right side by side next to each other? If we display them as a block, then they would be stacked on top of each other like blocks. So whenever we display them as inline and float them to the left, that makes them appear side by side, of course. Now another thing that we want to do is position them relative and also give them a margin left of 5 pixels, and also, not 1, 5 pixels, and a margin right of 5 pixels. And this just allows us to, whenever we have multiple columns, that it has spacing to the left and the right of it. If we didn't have any spacing at all, then it would look like one big text paragraph. And of course we need spacing because, if we wanted one big text paragraph, then we would just write one big paragraph. This is a layout with columns, so that's why we want to give it spacing to the left and the right. Otherwise, what's the frickin' point? Alright, so this is the same property in all columns. You want them pretty much not to be stacked on top of each other and some space on the left and the right hand side. Alright, simple enough. However, how are these columns different? Well, the only way that they're different is the width of them. So column, and I probably should mention this if I didn't already. So basically what we're doing is we're going to create a layout and we're going to be placing columns inside that layout. All columns must be placed inside a layout. So column 1, remember, whenever we have a layout that can hold one column, the entire layout is 140 pixels wide. Now a single column is, let's see, I didn't even do that yet. Alright, now a single column has a margin left and a margin right of pretty much 10 pixels altogether. So we have 140 pixels that we can work with, and we already took away 10 pixels, so that must mean that a single column width can be 130 pixels wide. Now I want to say this one more time because it's important. All of these columns, a single column, a double column, and a triple column, they must go inside a layout. A single column has to go inside a single column layout, or actually it can go inside either, but a single column layout can only hold a column that's 1 wide. The layout is 140 pixels wide. Now when this single column is 130 and then it has a 5 pixel to the left and right, that makes up the 140. If we made this 131, then the column would be bigger than the layout and it wouldn't work out. So now let me go ahead and style the other two. Alright, so when you have a double column and a triple column, a double column is 270 pixels. Now why did I do this? Well, one more time. Whenever you have a 2-column layout like this one right here, this entire thing is 280 pixels wide. So what you can do is you can add 2 single columns, which make up 140 plus 140, which is 280, or a double column, which is 270 plus 5 on the left, and 5 on the right, which is 280. So if you guys can figure out what this one is going to be, 410. So remember, you guys should remember this. A 3-column layout is 420, so you can either do 140 plus 140 plus 140, or 280 plus 140, or just 420 fits in 420. So that is basically how we're going to arrange this. These are individual columns that are either 1, 2, or 3 wide, single, double, or triple, and they have to fit inside a layout that takes them. So basically, you can't put a triple column inside a single column layout. You can't put, 8 doubles inside a triple column. Your columns have to add up to the layout. That's it. Boom roasted. Simple enough. So anyways, in the next tutorial, we can save this file, freaking forget about it, and we're going to be moving over to the HTML file, and then, and only then, finally, we're going to see how everything ties together into a beautiful ballet of the most brilliant footer, the most beautiful footer ever created in the history of mankind. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And please check out my website, buckysroom.com.